Good morning, grade 8 students. How are you today? I hope everybody is doing really good. Today, you will gain more information as we are going to explore and learn new exciting things. I'm Teacher Shar, your teacher broadcaster from Santa Ana National High School. Just three quick reminders to all our students before we start our lesson. First, please look for a comfortable place while tuning in to our station. Second, make sure to have your mind and body ready for our discussion. And the third one, prepare your science module, notebook, and pen for more fun and exciting activities. Grade 8 students, are you ready and excited for another round of learning? Oh yes, that's great. Have you ever wondered why Philippines is frequently visited by typhoons? How do meteorologists know that a typhoon is about to hit our country? Indeed, I asked you these questions because today our topic is related to our previous lesson about the formation of a typhoon. Our topic is anchored on the most essential learning competencies given by the Department of Education, which is to trace the path of typhoons that enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility, or PAR, using a map and tracking data. And these are the objectives. Track the path of typhoons that enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility using a map and tracking data, and determine whether the typhoon is within or outside the PAR or the Philippine Area of Responsibility using a map or tracking data. Before we proceed further, let us try to recall the previous topic on how typhoons develop over the Pacific Ocean and the different classifications of tropical cyclone according to the strength of the winds as adopted by PAGASA DOST 2020. So are you ready? Let's start by knowing some terminologies that will be used in this module. Please grab your Module 5 on page 11, Activity 1, as you answer the brief drill of the crossword puzzle by filling in the word that fits each clue. Alright, great job, students. Hope you all got the correct answers. Do you already know how to plot the given latitude and longitude using a map? The next task for you to do is just like your lesson in mathematics about Cartesian coordinate. Let us find out more by following the step. Please prepare a pen and your Module 5, page 12, to plot the given latitude and longitude using a world map. Distinguish latitude line from longitude line. Latitude lines are imaginary horizontal lines that measures the distance north and south from the equator, while longitude lines are imaginary vertical line that measures the distance east and west from the prime meridian. Yes, since our country is located above the equator and in the eastern side of the prime meridian, it is in the northeast part of the world. Now, let's continue on the next step. Locate the given latitude and longitude of the Philippine Area of Responsibility and mark it with a dot on the spot where the given latitude and longitude intersect. Are you ready now for the next activity? Let's do this. Based on the direction, you have to plot the given latitude, longitude points using the grid below. Mark a dot on the spot where the latitude and longitude points intersect. Afterwards, label each dot and connect them all. Use another sheet to perform this activity. Use a ruler and pencil to help you connect the dots. Point A is already done for you. Alright, good job, students. Did you find this activity interesting and effective in learning the topic today? If your answer is a big yes, let's find out more. What is the Philippine Area of Responsibility and its coordinates? Students, are you still with me? Very good. The Philippines is an archipelagic country which is surrounded by huge bodies of water like the Pacific Ocean in the east, West Philippines Sea in the northwest, and Celebes Sea at the south. It is also a tropical country which is situated above the equator that receives direct heat from the sun. Given its location, the Philippines is prone to tropical cyclones or bagyo. And because of the frequent visit of typhoons in our country, we must always be ready in the circumstances brought about by it. The next question is, what agency of the government is responsible to monitor every typhoon that may enter our country? Yes, class, it is PAGASA, which stands for Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. It is a branch of Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, to deliver reliable and relevant weather-related information and to keep track on the incoming weather disturbances like typhoons. But how does PAGASA determine whether a tropical cyclone is about to enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility? So, now let's continue with our discussion. The following coordinates are the exact dimensions of a Philippine Area of Responsibility, which are bounded by longitude and latitude. Once the coordinates are plotted, this is how Philippine Area of Responsibility looks like in a map grid. Are you ready for another exciting activity? Open your module on page 16 and follow the direction given by tracking the path of typhoon by plotting the given coordinates on the given grid map. Determine whether the typhoon is within or outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility. What have you learned in this activity? Alright, class, you are correct. By tracking the typhoon's path will determine whether it is inside or outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility, and people in the affected areas will have enough time to prepare before and after the typhoon will hit their places or areas. Do you have any clarifications? If none, now let's go with the next activity on page 17, tracking a tropical cyclone. So here is the instruction. You are going to track the path taken by the tropical storm Sendong last December 13 to 19, 2011 by plotting the given coordinates on the map grid. You are to answer the questions that follow. Is it clear to everybody? Yes, very good. You are all a good listener. That's it. We are done. Since we are done tracking the path of typhoons that enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility using a map and tracking data, and determining whether the typhoon is within or outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility using a map and tracking data by performing Activity 4.1 and Activity 5.1 respectively. So, how were the lesson on the tracking the path of typhoons and their movement within the Philippine Area of Responsibility equipped your knowledge and an understanding about typhoons? Were you able to understand them? Very good. Great job, students. By this time, to sum up our lesson, may I ask anybody to give a synthesis of our lesson? Very good. You've got 10 points. You want to give another synthesis? Excellent answer. Well explained. You've got 10 points. All right. Great job, students. So before we end up this session, any further clarification? If none, I believe that you all set to the assessment on page 19 and eventually the additional activities on page 21. And this ends my presentation for today. Great job to all grade 8 students. I will be really happy if you learned a lot from my discussion. For more learnings, please don't forget to read and answer all activities and practice exercises on your Module 5. If you have questions about the module, just contact your teacher.